What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Ani-mity. And isn't it so nice when you can actually get your stuff to work and when you realize how things are supposed to be run? I only just recently discovered that the microphone setup that I'm using here, because of the way it's set up, it doesn't really have a port for me to plug in my computer into, or it doesn't have a. The port it takes up is normally the port that I would use to charge my computer, and because of the way it's set up, I don't really have a place to charge my computer properly. Until I realized that there's a little thing on the side that allows for that exact purpose, because the people who made this obviously thought of everything, which is very, very nice, and I very, very much appreciate it. So, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Ani-mity, and welcome to another one of my vlog entries. With just, I guess, another quick catch up on what's gone on since the last vlog entry that I did. And frankly, for this week, there's not really a whole lot for me to report. I've had a lot of time just kind of getting used to things. I've definitely, again, developed a lot more strategies when it comes to how I go about my shift and my job. And yeah, that's about it. The rest of the time has just been me kind of chilling in the back. I've had a lot of time to think about a lot of different projects that I'm going to work on. Chris and I are going to be actually getting together online soon enough. We're going to play some Vanguard against each other. We're going to have some fun on that side because we're celebrating the near end of DivineZ, or I say near end because we're playing against each other the day before the last episode of DivineZ comes out. Um, and yeah, we're just very, very stoked to see how that goes. I'm mostly stoked because of the fact that I've got some thoughts this season. I will definitely say, and I guess that's going to be the main focus of this vlog is going to be talking about Vanguard because of the fact that that's been A, the number one obsession of my brain, and B, because of the fact that we're so close to DivineZ being done, which feels so weird to say. We've been with DivineZ for so long now, it's kind of hard to imagine that it's going to be over now, that we're going to see a new cast whenever Vanguard does come back around again. But yeah, so I'll get to that in a sec. But yeah, so Vanguard's been the main thing on my mind lately. I've been doing a lot of rewatching in my free time of the original series Vanguard because I want to. I've been trying to get Chris to watch G for the longest time. We finally started watching G not that long ago, and I wanted to be able to watch it with him because I have seen G. I've seen bits and pieces of it here and there, but I've never actually seen it all the way through. So I've wanted to be able to take some time to be able to do that. And it's been a good way of just like, I've had a long day at work. I'm coming back home. I want to do some of the detox. And that's what I do. I chill. I watch some Vanguard. I build some decks. I play with some people online. I write some stuff on the side. Have maybe some Vanguard fan fiction that I write on the side here and there. Who knows? But yeah, it's been really, really fun. Just I love this game so much, and it's very much a good it's cathartic for me. I like the craft and the art that goes into it. There's a lot of things I kind of learn about myself as far as how cautious I am, I guess. Because the thing that I found whenever I was building the decks is that I always found that I overvalued being able to generate resources for myself, and that's kind of representative of how I am in real life, where I'm always worried about the idea of being stranded in these situations where I can't really do anything. And then even if there's a slow build up back to where I was before, it still never feels like it's quite enough for me to feel like I'm stable and that I'm okay. And that's just with my own devices, my own being able to stand on my own. There are people around me that support me and help me to feel like I'm doing okay. But a lot of that also does need to come down to me feeling internally myself that I can do okay, that I am doing okay. And I do feel that way some of the time. But it's still a struggle of me kind of coming to grips with that feeling, I guess. Which is something that I've always found so interesting, that I learned that from playing Vanguard of all things. Vanguard, I always said, is a game that's very analogous to life, where it's just as much luck as it is skill. You can be the best player at the game, you can do a whole lot of things, you can do everything by the book, you do it all the quote-unquote right ways with everything. All it takes is one wrong move, and it all gets pretty much blown to hell, if we're being completely honest. So that's something that I've always found really fascinating, that's how that works. Found really interesting that's how that works. And it's what's kept me with the series for as long as I have been. It's I think something that I found that is it's weird to say that I can apply Vanguard a lot more to life than I can other trading card animes that I've seen. And it's interesting to see how that kind of develops into things that I've taken on into my life and just everything that I do. It's part of why I love this series so much, why I've stuck with it for as long as I have. But then going into Divines, where I guess like I'll do like a brief like synopsis of my feelings on Divines as an entire series. I thought the season was great. Like since we went through the V series and since we started doing the D and we got all this stuff with Wheel Dress and Overdress, I didn't know what to expect with a new cast coming off of the Dress series. But I was pleasantly surprised at what Divines managed to pull out. I mean, like it made these characters, all of them, very, very strong. I love the development that all the characters got over time, and I like how despite like Akina being the main character, he never felt like he really like stole the spotlight, except for when he did. Um, it's like all the characters did feel like they got just the right amount of attention, where it was felt kind of balanced for me at least. I definitely do feel that Akina does suffer quite often from like I'm the main character, I get everything I want my way, and that kind of thing, which does get annoying a lot of the time. But overall, like I said, I think that I really, really like the cast of characters. I mean, I love Now. I think she's a great character. Mikoto, I thought was great. Suo always is a pleasure to watch on screen. Um, Taizo, I always enjoyed him from the original series, so it's great to see him. I wish that we got a little bit more Taizo, to be completely honest. It was cool we got to see more of him in season 2 and get that little development with his destined rival. But I still wish always that we could have a little bit more. Um, but alas, that is just simply how it is. Um, that was the thing that I always said. Like I was like hesitant and also like concerned about from watching the first episode. Like I mean, I like the first episode of the new season Divines really, really a lot, but with this coming to a close now, it does feel like I was talking about this with Chris. I definitely have my biases about the season. I definitely have my biases of like, oh man, I wish that all my favorite characters wouldn't be dying. But I'm like, if you put that aside, I do like this story and I do like what they're trying to do with the plot lines and such. But it does feel kind of like we're getting punished as fans for liking the show. We're getting punished as like, oh, you liked all these characters? Too bad, they're all gonna die. Um, and that was the kind of biggest gripe I had with it. It's also the ending that it seems like we are wrapping up toward. Now, I am recording this before I see the final episode, and for all I know, I'm going to be completely proven wrong. And if I am, I will put some kind of post on YouTube or some kind of edit if I have the time to be able to put an edit in, talking about how I was wrong. But I'm decently sure that I know how this is going to end, and I'm kind of worried about that. Like it feels too much like a cop out ending. It feels too much like everyone wins and none of the season had any consequences. And to be honest, I mean, I don't really think I really think no matter what the ending is going to be, it's going to feel that way. Like I feel something has to be sacrificed, something has to give for the season to really all feel like it's okay. It's like having the sacrifices that we've had this season and then having it. And I know it's like the sacrifices are only like mental changes and that kind of thing, but like it's still the way the show frames it, it feels very much like these characters are dying. And because of that, it feels very disingenuous now when we get to the season. It's like, okay, we're just going to undo all of that instantly. So nothing this season really mattered and kind of skip over the season. Like Chris and I were saying, season 4 was an amazing season because it did so much, capping off so many of these different characters and their arcs and so many different things that they'd set up from not even just this season. The entire series felt like it all paid off in that one season. So it kind of makes season 5 feel like, why do we need to be here again? Like it's the most Vanguard's like, I mean, all trading card animes had that feel of like we're a commercial meant to sell people on the trading card game. But the thing that was always cool with Divine is that it was a good balance of like, here's a really interesting story, and also here are some cards that help tell the story. Versus this season where it does feel more like the marketing and the cards are more of the focus with it. Like, and that's a shame to say because I really like Kurumi is a great character. Kanami, I think is what her name, the sister of Kurumi. They're both really great characters, and I think that we only just got to meet them this season, and they're like my favorite characters of the entire arc. Is really, really strong, and there's very good things they do this season, which I don't want to undermine, but it is like the season does feel like it had the potential to be something really, really great with the plot line, and they just didn't really work out that way, is I guess the best way I have to put it. Like, I really like season 5. I think that it is good when I do put my biases of like my favorite characters all kind of got the short end of the stick, and I'm a little salty about that. But it's just, I don't know. It's like there are definitely things I feel like they could have done differently. Like maybe I don't know. Maybe instead of making it so the characters instantly got their memories erased, that they all went into a stasis and that they were all like actually hanging in the balance rather than just, I guess they just go about their lives instantly after. But like I understand the stakes element of like it hurts the characters more seeing it that way. But I feel like the season probably would have done a lot better if like every time a character lost, good or bad, went into like some kind of a stasis where they're like observing the battle from the outside. And then somehow like kind of I guess like how they do it in the Asia circuit, where you have, for those of you who don't know Vanguard, in the second season of Vanguard, they have it where once you lose the game in this like pocket dimension, you get sent outside of it, and you're forced to just helplessly watch as the final battles occur, and then not really know what your fate's going to be until that final match is resolved. I kind of wish that was the setup that they had with season 5. I feel like that would have done a lot better for what they've set up for it. Because like I don't mind Akina getting the win for this. I mean, I know he's going to. I don't mind the build up of like the characters getting this final wish. I mean, that's always been the case. Is like they wish for the impossible and then work to get it with everything that they have. And I really like that dynamic for the seasons. This time it does feel a little bit kind of like, let's give the characters what they want. And it's like for someone with it's I talked about this with a friend of mine recently at work. I like when characters do have an arc and kind of have that moment of like, we really struggled to overcome this issue and then we finally got to where we wanted to, versus nothing really happened and we got what we wanted anyway. Because that's not realistic in life. And honestly, those are the kind of characters, those are the kind of people in life that I think we in general don't like. We don't like seeing people just being handed things because they're special. We like to know that we feel good when we see someone who we know put in the work and otherwise gets what they deserve and that they've earned it. And that's what I kind of like writing into my characters. That like I'll give my characters the world, but they're gonna work their asses off for it. I'm gonna make them go through the ringer to get to where I want them to be. And it hurts to see my characters go through that always. But ultimately, I know they're going to end up better on the other side for that. I know that I'm going to love them much more on the other side for that. Because, like, if I have a character that's just if I have a character that, doesn't, that kind of gets everything they want, I'm going to get bored writing that character because I'm like, there's no point in putting them in any situation because things are just going to go well for them. There's no point. It just gets boring and it gets frustrating for me writing those kind of characters and writing those kind of stories. And yeah, they're easier to write, but then just the soul is gone, is the problem that I've always had. And like just this season, it doesn't always feel like all the characters struggled equally. Like Akina lost a lot of his friends and struggled with that, but he never felt like he really had that like personal struggle this season, which is something that I never really liked. Like he's got an ambition, he's got a mission that he's striving for, but it never felt like he had an actual like goal he was pushing for, if that makes any sense. But yeah, so those are my just overall thoughts on Divine and on this particular season. It's the only thing I really wanted to cover in my vlog for this week, just because the Vanguard's been the main thing on my mind. And as per usual, there's really not a lot I can say about work. Because I mean, one way or another, and I'll say this in every video, I can't really say good, bad, or otherwise. Because if good stuff happens at work, I can't say anything because I'm under NDA, and I don't want to, spoil what good stuff is coming down the pipeline that I have seen, if I've seen anything for anyone. I don't want to come across as like I'm bragging about my job or anything like that. And then on the flip side of that, if something doesn't go right at work, it's not professional for someone to go online and start ranting and raving of like, this sucks, which it hasn't. But it's just saying like the good, bad, or otherwise, I don't really know the way to appropriately go about discussing how I felt when it comes to my job. So it's just talking about the things I do outside of work and kind of the life that I live outside of work, which is a hard thing for me to do because there's not really a whole lot I do. I definitely have become that meme of like, I come to what is it? I come to work, I work all day, I go home, I go to sleep. I get up, I shower, I go to work, I work all day, I go home, I go to sleep. And pretty much that is my cycle. And like, unless where work is in the day changes, nothing really else changes. Because if I have a PM shift, I'm not doing anything that day because I'm spending the day just resting. So that way I'm not, dragging myself through doing work. And if it's in the mornings, then usually I come home, I might jog, I might go do some shopping, or I might do some stuff, but it's like boring stuff, not stuff that's really like, I gotta talk to you guys about this kind of stuff. So most of the time it's just me watching stuff. One of these times I am going to talk about watching Arcane because I finally did that. I've been very excited with watching that. I've heard a lot of really good things. Alia kind of got me interested when they were watching it in LA, and I heard a lot of really good things from there. And it was always on my back burner that like one day I'm going to sit down, I'm going to watch this, and then I never did. And now I finally have, and my God, am I loving this show so much. But that could be a video all on its own. Also, because that I don't want to give my thoughts on that until I've seen the entire season through. At least with DivineZ, like I have the benefit of I've watched 4 seasons beforehand versus this. It's like I love the show to pieces, and I can gush about the show for like a long, long while. But I also don't want to come in with an incomplete thought on it because of the fact that I definitely don't have all of the resources at my disposal to talk about it yet. But that will come in time. I'm hoping that by the next time I do one of these videos, I will have it all put together and I will be able to have my thoughts on that. And yeah, we'll have a good time with that. Um, as I think I said in my last video, I also am planning to do a lot more covers in the upcoming future because of the fact that I do have a video with Alia that will relate to the covers that I'll be doing, but that also involves me finding time to sit down and do those, which has been getting harder and harder for me to do nowadays. But yeah, that will come in time, but not just yet. But yeah, with that said, I'll wrap this up here. Thank you guys so much for watching this vlog entry, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.